But you have come before 6 in the evening. Jim not allowing you outing again if you disobey me, Din said looking strict. But Taehyung was about to say something, but Jungkook cut him. Don't worry, Hyung. I'll take his responsibility, Jungkook said, with a cold face but in an assuring tone. But we all could have gone together. Why only two? A whisper came from Hoseok, who was looking at them, which was only heard by Suga. He sensed somehow Hoseok was sad that his brothers are going distant from him. He can see the flicker of sadness in his eyes. What's going on? Hoseok muttered again, and this time Suga as well as Namjin, who were sitting on either side of him, heard this. Both of them widened their eyes. They looked at each other with the same cold face, but something understanding in their eyes. They'll discuss this later. Hoseok, Suga called, trying to distract him. This was necessary. Hoseok was scaring them with his silence. Hoseok turned his head towards Suga, who called him. Court he was, surprised, because Suga never called him by himself till now. Actually I was thinking, I produced a new music and the team decided to make a dance video this time. But now we need a dancer and I find you potential for that role. If you agree then we can proceed further, Suga said, completely taking Hoseok off guard. He couldn't believe his ears. What? He screamed in shock. That's all he could do. He was completely astonished. A professional dance in the music video. What more can he ask for the start of his career? He got excited. What happened, Hobbit? Why are you screaming like a failed car engine? In asked with a plain look. He knew them better. They all scream for absolutely no reason at all. Jin Hyung, I asked him if he is interested in dancing in my new music video. But he suddenly reacted like that, Suga said. As far as he knows these people, he thought Hoseok was a calm person. But now his opinion changed. He is also like his brothers. What? A collective sounds echoed, ripping others' ears. Jin, Taehyung, and Dimit were the ones who screamed this time. They all circles Hoseok and hugged him tightly, slightly jumping due to happiness. They knew what it meant for Hoseok to offer something this professional, but here other than those four remaining people look at Suga with a questioning look. He just signaled them to talk later, and they all agreed. They were confused on why Suga all of a sudden offered something like this to Hoseok. Hoseok, tomorrow you have to come to office to meet the production team and also show some of your potential to them, Suga said, and Hoseok nodded eagerly. He was so happy with the news that he really forgot the actual thing he was thinking earlier. Thank God, he'll be very busy from now, Suga thought, and was relieved. Here some were happy, some were confused. Thank you so much, Suga. If not for you, Hobe must have to struggle a lot of get into something like this, Din said genuinely. It's not about favor, Jin Hyung. I just suggested his name to them. He dances really well. Now it's upon him to prove himself in front of them, Suga said with cold face and voice. Well, Suga really finds Hoseok as very talented dancer. Just by listening to the music his body flows magnificently. Then with practice he can do a lot. As a cherry on top, he is beautiful. So such a beautiful dancer for his music video is a benefit for him as well. So he thought about that, not only to distract him. Like this, they have completed their lunch and went to their respective classes. From the day Yumi warned, Mina lurks in the shadows but doesn't dare to come to Jimin openly. He is just waiting for a chance, and now he already got one. In an abandoned classroom. What's the deal? Minu asked the person standing in front of him. The deal is simple. You want Jimin and I want Taehyung, Yumi proposed. Jimin is fine, but Jungkook, I think he'll also propose him soon. But I can't let that happen, the other person said, slightly punching the table. So, what do you want me to do, Yeonwook? Minu asked, clearly not interested in the person. He just wanted Jimin. But here this person seems to put him in more trouble than he already is. I have a plan already, but needed someone's help to execute it, Anwoo said with a smirk as he knows Minna wouldn't back off. Mina raised an eyebrow. He seems pretty interested in his plan, and both planned the things in an order. Time skip. In the evening, Taehyung and Jungkook went to the park after informing Jin about it. Jimin and Yoongi went to a date as Jimin was quite upset from the morning. Yoongi planned a surprise date for him. Hoseok was busy in the dance club room with Suga. They were discussing the details of what's gonna happen there. But today something was different with Jin. He noticed Namjin also sitting in the library doing something. Namjin Hagen said, seeing him seated with some books. Namjin looked surprised. "Oh, Jin, hello," he said with a straight face, but the tone was a bit gentle. "Do you have some projects?" he inquired, seeing Jin with his bag hung on his shoulders. "Yes, you too have a project?" he questioned. "Yes. You can sit here if you want." Namjoon offered, being generous. Jin just nodded his head thanking him and sat there opening his books. They both started their works. Jin being completely unaware of Namjoon's stolen glances in the close-up. In the park, Taehyung and Jungkook came to the park near to Taehyung's home. They just entered, and Taehyung started showing his bratty side. "Hi, I wanna swing. Please give me for some time," he exclaimed like an excited kid. Jungkook just chuckled seeing Taehyung's antics. "Not, we are still playing. You are beg. You shouldn't play here," a kid said with an angry pout, with his hands on his hips. Taehyung too got angry at that. How dare that little kid refuse him to play? He squinted his eyes and looked at that kid. "Oh, didn't I see you burying your mark sheet under that tree? Hark, seems like you failed the test," Taehyung said, pointing at the tree, and the kid just gulped hardly. How did he know that other kids also were stunned now? "Since you all refused to let me play here, how about I am going to your house and tell your parents about your test grades?" Taehyung said, smirking evilly at the kid, who has now fear in his eyes. "You wouldn't?" the kid stuttered. But here Taehyung's smirk grew. "Yes, honey, I will definitely do it if you will not let me play here," Taehyung demanded. And the other kids also gave up, intending to save their friend. Taehyung was overjoyed like he won a medal, and Jungkook was amused. What was that? He found Taehyung's this act a bit amusing but a bit sad. But as the kids started to leave, Taehyung also looked at them, started to speak. "Wait, if you want you all can play with me. I'll feel alone if you all go. We'll play whatever you all wanted," Taehyung said, and kids again turned back hearing him. There was a sparkle in his eyes. "Really?" that kid asked with sparkly eyes. Taehyung nodded. "Yet I got sad because you won't let me play with you. So I said like that." He pouted and folded his hands on his chest like a little kid sulking. "Okay, we'll play together," a little boy said, and they all began to play different games. Taehyung was so much involved in the game. Here Jungkook was smiling softly at Taehyung's nature. Taehyung missed his smile. Jungkook took his phone out and started recording the precious moments. Taehyung was very soft and gentle with kids. He would clean the dust of the kids' skirts and shorts and make them clean if they fell down. Jungkook knew Taehyung will become a great parent for their kids. Soon the children's parents came there to pick them up, and the children waved their hands at Taehyung happily, promising to meet him again and play with them. Here Jungkook was sitting by the bench watching Taehyung sending the kids with adoring eyes. Taehyung saw Jungkook sitting in the nearby bench, so he also sat beside him. Jungkook offered him some water and some snacks that he had in his bag. "Thank you, Jungkook," Taehyung said, genuinely looking directly at Jungkook. He felt so much happy in the 2 days he spent with Jungkook. He doesn't know what to feel anymore, but he was happy. Jungkook just nodded his head as a reply with a cold face. "Oh, his hands are so attractive with tattoos. I have already seen his tattoos and it drives me crazy. I don't know what is wrong with me, but being with him makes me feel safe and secure. But what is all this feelings? I have known him since fresher man. But it's only been some days I have started to talk to him. Then why this feelings?" Taehyung thought, looking lost, staring at the bottle that Jungkook is offering. "Taehyung, Taehyung," Jungkook shouted, shaking Taehyung by his shoulder. Taehyung snapped back from his thoughts and looked at Jungkook, who was looking at him with worried but cold face. You what? Taehyung stuttered while looking at Jungkook confusedly. Where are you lost, Taehyung? Are you okay? Jungkook asked. Yell. I am okay, don't worry, Taehyung said, shrugging off his thoughts. Jungkook hummed, and there was a silence between them. But when did Taehyung sat silent? Jungkook, I am sorry if I wasted your time today. You were a boxer and gave matches, but today you missed your practice. Taehyung said, feeling a bit guilty for dragging Jungkook here. Did you regret coming here with me? Jungkook asked in a same cold tone, looking at Taehyung, his gaze sharp. Taehyung felt like Jungkook was trying to pull his soul out by his gaze. He gulped unknowingly. I don't regret. It's that I feel guilty. Taehyung said, looking like a cute puppy. If you don't regret something, then you don't to feel guilty for it. Even I have enjoyed the fresh air after a long time, Jungkook said, looking straight. Both were sitting like that for some time. You seem good with kids, Jungkook commented. Listening to this, a soft smile played on Taehyung's lips. Yes, I love kids, Taehyung said, nodding his head in agreement. If you don't feel uncomfortable, may I know why Jin doesn't allow you to go out? Jungkook asked, intending to know something. It's that when I was 13 there was some stalker behind me. Jin was the first one to observe that, and later Woshikang, Bokyum, Hyun, Ria Nuna, and Lily Nuna caught him with the help of police. From that day, Jin had restricted me to go out on my own. I should take someone with me every time. Even Jimin and Hobby Hound also have restrictions, Taehyung said, looking at his hands, playing with his fingers. So that stalker is still behind the bars, Jungkook said, looking at Taehyung. Taehyung gulped. Or that only he knew how he is hiding things from everyone. No, he got bail, and he left the country, Taehyung said. Jungkook was shocked at that. No wonder Jin has restricted these three to roam freely. It's for their own safety. Din alone cannot save them if something happens. Why, Jimin said he was upset because your parents visited. Shouldn't you be happy that your parents visited? Jungkook asked. He knows what he is doing, but that was necessary for digging the information out. Taehyung scoffed, hearing about his parents. Not really, not every child has good parents. Our parents are business partners and friends. So from childhood we have been together. They never cared about us. They only care about their business, Taehyung said, looking forward blankly. Jungkook doesn't want to spoil his mood, so he stopped there. Taehyung has started to trust him, and he has to take things slow. It's already late. Let's drop you home, Jungkook said while getting up, and Taehyung also followed him behind. Jungkook dropped Taehyung to his house, and he left to his hostel from there. Time skip. By time at dorm. So, how is life? Suga asked them, sitting on the chair. Going smooth like butter, Yoonmi said with a sleepy face. This cat was dragged from his room to here by Suga for this discussion. Then why Jimin was that upset? Namjin asked, not believing. Yoonmi also raised his eyebrow at Namjin, and the other two also were looking at them. That's right. Even I tried to ask Taehyung about it, but he didn't said anything, Jungkook said, grabbing attention. Their parents fixed Taehyung's and Jimin's marriage with Alex and Minho, Yoongi said, gritting his teeth, and suddenly the environment tensed up with dark aura surrounding them. What? I thought there is still time for us, Suga said, but Jungkook was calm. Super calm. Others also were looking at Jungkook. They were worried what Taehyung will do now. Will he accept that Alex? Quote, Namjoon called him as they were getting tensed by his silence. Yes, that already Hyun. In fact, I knew something like this will happen when I saw Alex in the parking lot, Jungkook said, and others widened their eyes. What? You saw Alex? Jungkook almost yelled. They have a very much of an unexplained relationship with Alex. Jungkook just nodded his head. But Alex is not only the problem here. Yoonwoo and Minho also joined as alliance against us. Also, we don't even get the evidences that we are searching for, Namjoon said while running his hand through his hair in frustration. Hyun. It's time for Bigboss to enter the story. I know we thought of not involving in this again, but there is no other choice for us, Jungkook said, looking at them, and finally they all smirked. Now the work will be very easy. We just have to welcome Golden, Bigboss, Shadow, and host after almost 1.5 years. Suga smirked dangerously. Others also smirked along with him. Like this, days passed, and it was already a month. Their exams are near, and everyone were busy with their regular routine. Taehyung and Jungkook got close. A lot. Every day they would go out and roam on Jungkook's bike. That's Taehyung's favorite time. Jungkook would buy him chocolates, ice creams, and many more. Daily Jungkook is the one who drops Taehyung at home. In all these, something was changing in Taehyung. Whenever he looked at Jungkook, his thoughts would become. He started about Jungkook whenever he sees him. Taehyung nowadays have no control on his thoughts about him. The thing that drives Taehyung about Jungkook is his tattoos. Even Jin, Yoonmin, and Hoseok has observed his behavior towards Jungkook. He would insist Jungkook in front of everyone to go with him to one or the other place. Even when Din stopped him many times, and as usual Jungkook would take Taehyung's side and make Din agree. Jimin and Yoon got more closer. Yoon wanted to introduce Jimin to his parents, but this Machi is a bit shy and nervous to meet them. They went on a lot of dates not knowing something is going to happen very soon. Yoonmin, who glares at the couple sitting far from them. He don't have that much power to challenge Min Yoongi in anything after the race night. So he secretly made his father meet Jimin's parents and arranged a marriage. But he is waiting right time to Jimin as his. Hoseok got selected as the dancer for the music video. He was never this much happy. He got very busy with the choreography and shoot at different places. This continued for 1 week. After that he got chances by different artists and he couldn't say no. But there was an improvement with Namjin and Jin. They are now study buddies. Every day they would come to the library and study together and talk a bit about their lives. Mostly it's Namjin who tells Vin about how crazy his parents are and how he have to handle everything. Din also shows a bit interest in his life, as it was the life Jin dreamed about, and Namjin is living it in real life. In the weekends, they would gather at Din's house for the group study, and Lily and Kay would make sure they learned sincerely. Kay and his friends already packed the things to be shifted. There are only some things, so it wasn't that difficult. Exam preparation was going on in a very serious mode, with Jin beating men with a pan. There would be a pink slipper and a pink pan on the table whenever they study. That is one of the reason there would be no noise or disturbance during the group study. Din was indeed scary Mama Bear. One day, Hyung, look what I found, Taehyung said, showing his laptop to K Bogum, Wooshit, and others. What's this? Seems like a new bounty. Jimin said, looking at that. Yes, Bigboss arrived after complete 1.5 years. Taehyung said, being excited. What? Bigboss, oh my god, others exclaimed. Why not? That is the power of Bigboss. What's the bounty this time? Jin asked, looking curious. Taehyung just smirked and showed the screen to them. Seeing them, others widened their eyes. Now this is something interesting, Hoseok said, and smirked like a devil. But why is he behind these people? Bogum questioned, looking suspiciously at the screen. Yes, as far as know, Bigboss is untouchable. But how come these messes with him? Wooshik also doubted. Seems like these up bag rhyme with him. Dimming smirked. They know what it means when Bigboss targets someone. That too, he is openly showing their pictures in the bounty. What relation these have with the black market? I thought they only do scams with other businesses, Raya said, collecting his knowledge about them. We don't know, but are sure that if Bigboss is targeting them, it's their end. Hoseok answered. Hyung, call Nur Hyung and Jade Hyung immediately from there, and also let them stay in the base. We can't take risks about them. Their parents trusted you while giving you their children. Taehyung said, looking serious this time. They were all having the blank expression. Tomorrow is the last exam, and also there is an annual party the day after tomorrow. We have to attend them, and then we are getting holidays for a month, Taehyung said, smirking. And then it's time for us to have some action. Jimin completed his sentence with a smirk. You guys look like creepy psychos, Jin commented with a plain face, and an instant pout came on Taehyung's and Jimin's face. Everyone laughed at them. On the day of annual party at university, the exams were finally over and everyone was relaxed and enjoying the party. All were planning to go on a vacation and enjoy their 1 month as they wanted. But here in a room something other was planning. Did you bring what I told you? Moonwoo asked. Minu just smirked and showed him the packets that contains a white powder. Onwoo also smirked, seeing that. Remember, I am only helping you because that Min Yoonwoo will not let my marriage happen. I know he'll do something, Mina said while gritting his teeth, while Yoonwoo just rolled his eyes. What's with that group having eyes on something we always wanted? Moonwoo said while glaring at them from the window. Anyways, is everything ready? I don't want any mistakes to happen, Minho asked, looking at Yoonwoo. Yes, the car is ready, waiting near the back gate. We just have to mix this in their drinks and somehow manage to get them out of here, Yoonwoo said, looking serious. They headed outside the room towards the open area where drinks are being served.